Hello. I realize it's been a long time since I've done one of these videos, and I'm sorry for the delays. It's time today for another Gita video. And today we're beginning chapter 7 of the Bhagavad Gita. If you haven't watched the entire series, it might make more sense for you if you were to look at the playlist, the Bhagavad Gita playlist, and watch these from the start, but whatever you prefer. Chapter 7 is the yoga of wisdom and transcendence. And we're going to begin with chapter 7, verses 1, 2, and 3. The Blessed One said, "With your mind directed to me, scion of Partha, practicing yoga in awareness to me, try to hear how you can become completely aware and free of doubt. I shall fully explain to you this awareness and this knowledge, which once known, there will remain nothing further in the world to know. Out of thousands of men, one will struggle for the higher power. And of those thousands struggling, only one will know me in reality." So, in these introductory verses, Krishna is talking about how in the spiritual path, the awareness of the divine, connecting to the divine, and he's using me as himself as being representative of enlightenment, is the ultimate attainment, and that nothing else can really satisfy that, and that it isn't easy. The quest to connect to this great spiritual truth, to true reality, is something that is, for most people, not even put under consideration. Because first you have to be aware that such a truth even exists. And for most people, what they have beliefs, they have desires, they have dreams and fantasies, and they go through life. Now, everybody in their life will have moments of some glimpses of truth without barriers, right? Of truth without anything filtered through the perspective of consciousness. Everyone has moments of clarity, but most people are also very skilled at instantly closing those, right? So someone who has the good fortune, or the grace, you could say, that at one of those moments of perspective clarity, they somehow manage to pay enough attention to understand that there's this thing that exists, this state of awareness, this divine truth that they hadn't been aware of before, that they hadn't realized before, and that it is worth pursuing. That's very rare. And part of it depends on of course, the individual, but part of it also depends on a situation of grace, of serendipity. And then, even among those people, being able to act on that pursuit of truth, to start to seriously undertake it, is very difficult. So this is Krishna when he says that only one out of 1,000 people will struggle for the higher power, and of those struggling, only 1 in 1,000 will get to it in reality. Because all along the way, you would think that if you have this experience of spiritual truth, you see this thing, however distant it might be, you're going to want to make that a very high priority, right? But we see in the Bhagavad Gita an example of this, in that in the context of the Bhagavad Gita as myth, Arjuna is a close friend of Krishna's. He recognizes Krishna as an avatara, right, as as a living embodiment of Godhead, and yet he constantly, the entire Bhagavad Gita is about him constantly struggling with the attempt to pursue that truth. And he's constantly trying to find excuses not to. And that's something that happens to every spiritual seeker. There's an analogy in this, in the Christian mythology, in the stories of the New Testament, in the 12 apostles and the context of what happens with them. Because here they are, the closest followers of Jesus. They have seen him make miracles in these accounts. They have caught glimpses of him revealing spiritual truth, and yet in the stories and the accounts in the Gospels, they're constantly getting it wrong. They're constantly questioning him, trying to find reasons not to do what he's telling them to do, and so on. And to the point that in the Garden of Gethsemane, when that moment comes, out of these 12 apostles, one of them directly betrays him. One of them goes and betrays that truth. And then another one of them, Peter, he denies it. When things become too hard, he turns around and says, no, I never had anything to do with this. He pretends he didn't ever have any connection to that truth, right? And then 9 of them just run away. They let their fear overcome their connection to the truth because things became hard. And only one of them, John, the evangelist, stays and ends up being there when Christ is crucified. And that's probably a pretty good reflection of the way that most people's relation to truth will go, right? Even among those who understand truth, right? That you're going to have a lot of people that will give lip service, or will even sincerely feel like, that they want to find this truth. But as soon as things get difficult, that's when these challenges appear, and you're going to see some of them directly betraying that truth, being hypocrites to themselves, being hypocrites to the public, being false to themselves and being false to the world, and actually acting in a way that subverts the opportunity for that truth to be manifested in the world. Some of them are going to just reject. They're going to deny that truth. They're going to say, I don't want anything more to do with this, and try to escape it. And most of them are just going to be cowards about it, right? They'll continue to say, I'm a disciple of this. I'm following the truth. But the moment something gets hard, they're going to hide and run. They're never to be seen, and they're only going to pursue the easy parts of the truth, and therefore never get anywhere. And then a very small number of people will actually understand the sense of priority of what they must do, and will be able to follow that truth and be willing to manifest it in the world. So I think this is the gist of what Krishna is getting to in these verses. That's everything for today. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit the like button if you can, and share this video anywhere you think people will find it interesting. And if you haven't looked at it yet, again, take a look at the playlist for the Bhagavad Gita, and check out the other playlists on this channel. If you're looking for a path of spiritual practice and discipline in which you can try to make your own approach to spiritual truth, to connect to spiritual truth through a structured curriculum of spiritual practice, then be sure to check out the playlist of the EFA Society. And if you find that interesting, please feel free to get in touch. Also, you will find in the description below in this video, there will be a link to a mailing list. This mailing list is kind of defunct at this point. There hasn't been an update in quite a long time. But if you subscribe to the mailing list, which was meant to have kind of regular updates of my talks and videos, but like I said, it hasn't been updated in a long time. But if you subscribe to it, which is completely free, you'll get a link in the subscription email that gets sent to you. There'll be a link there where you can find a free PDF of The Path and the Power, which is my my text and commentary on the Tao Te Ching. So you could get that completely free, and you're not even going to get bothered by emails from the mailing list anymore. And I guess that's everything for today. Thank you very much.